Welcome back to Viral and Vinyl, the show where we kind of take all your sources, those articles, research papers, even those like random notes you've jotted down, and we try to pull out the most interesting insights.
It's a bit like a shortcut to being well-informed, right?
Yeah, exactly. And with like a little bit of humor sprinkled in just to keep things fun.
Keep it lively.
Exactly. I'm Blaze.
And I'm Electra.
And today we are diving headfirst into, well, rom-coms.
Rom-coms.
We're talking about the latest Bridget Jones film, Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, and its surprising box office success.
Yes, the fourth installment of the Bridget Jones saga.
It's been quite a journey for her.
It has been.
Since that first film back in 2001.
Way back when.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are joining us, have you seen any of the Bridget Jones films?
Yeah, what comes to mind when you think of her?
We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
Definitely, but first...
Let's talk numbers.
Yes, numbers.
This film had a phenomenal opening weekend in the UK and Ireland.
Phenomenal.
Rating in a record-breaking £11.8 million for a romantic comedy.
It even outperformed Captain America, Brave New World in the UK.
Wow, that's quite a feat.
It is, although it's worth noting that Mad About the Boy went straight to streaming in North America.
That's interesting, isn't it? It makes you wonder if there's something about Bridget Jones that just resonates more strongly with UK audiences.
It's possible.
Yeah.
The Telegraph's film critic even suggested that she might be an extremely local concern.
An extremely local concern, huh?
Perhaps her humor, which is often very self-deprecating and rooted in sort of that British social awkwardness, connects more deeply with viewers in the UK.
That's a great point. It definitely seems like a specific type of humor, but then again, the film also topped the box office in countries like Poland, the Netherlands, and Norway.
Right, so there's clearly something about Bridget's story that kind of transcends cultural boundaries.
Yeah.
Maybe it's those universal themes of love, heartbreak, and self-discovery that we all grapple with.
Yeah, no matter where we're from.
Exactly.
I think you're onto something there. Speaking of universal themes, this film catches up with Bridget at a very different point in her life.
It does.
She's now a widowed single mother navigating parenthood, work, and that ever-complicated world of modern dating.
Talk about relatable content.
Right.
And she's caught in a bit of a love triangle, isn't she?
Yeah, choosing between a younger man, played by Leo Woodall, and her son's science teacher, played by the brilliant Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Tough choices.
Definitely a tough choice. And we also see the return of some familiar faces.
Oh, yes.
Like Hugh Grant and Emma Thompson.
Of course.
Which, adds a layer of nostalgia for longtime fans of this series.
Definitely. The return of those characters can really amplify that sense of familiarity and comfort, the audiences associate with the Bridget Jones universe.
Yeah.
Like revisiting old friends.
It really is. So we have this box office smash, a beloved character back for more, and a storyline that seems to resonate with audiences across different cultures.
It does.
But what about the critics? Did they embrace Bridget's latest chapter with the same enthusiasm?
Well, the critical response, it's a bit more mixed.
Okay.
Some reviewers absolutely loved the film, while others were less impressed.
So less enthusiastic.
Less enthusiastic.
Okay, let's hear some specifics. The Guardian, for instance, wasn't overly enthusiastic. They gave the film 2 stars, describing it as strangely dazed.
Ouch. Although they did highlight Hugh Grant's performance.
Okay.
Saying he delivered some giant laughs.
So there's always a silver lining.
Always.
On the other end of the spectrum, we have The Independent, who were much more generous, awarding the film 4 stars.
They praised its vulnerability, honesty, and humor.
And they had this insightful observation in their review. It's less that Bridget Jones has finally matured, and more that she's shown us how human she really is.
That's a good point.
It is. It suggests that Bridget's appeal lies in her flaws and imperfections.
Yeah, she's not a flawless heroine.
Right.
And that's what makes her so relatable.
Now, for our listeners out there, what do you think makes a good romantic comedy? What are the essential ingredients that keep you entertained and engaged? Let us know in the comments.
We're always eager to hear your perspectives. Now let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And explore Bridget's cultural impact.
Okay.
We touched on the idea that she might be more popular in the UK.
Right.
But her global box office numbers tell a different story.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? What do you make of that apparent contradiction?
Well, I think it speaks to the universality of certain themes in Bridget's story.
Okay.
The anxieties of dating, the search for connection, the fear of being alone.
Right.
These are experiences that resonate with people across cultures.
I see, yeah.
And let's not forget Bridget's humor.
Oh, her humor is definitely a big part of her appeal. She's self-deprecating.
Yes.
She makes mistakes. She doesn't always have it all figured out.
Makes her human.
It's incredibly refreshing. She's not this slawless, unattainable heroine.
Exactly. She's relatable.
Yeah.
She's human, and she makes us laugh at ourselves. I think that's a key ingredient in her enduring appeal. And it's interesting to consider how Bridget's character has evolved over the years.
Yeah, from that 30-something singleton in London to a widowed mother facing a whole new set of
A
challenges.
whole new chapter.
Yeah.
Yet, despite the changes in her life, she retains that core essence of Bridget Jones. Her vulnerability, her humor, her determination to find love and happiness.
And that's something that resonates with audiences, regardless of age or background.
Absolutely.
It seems like Bridget Jones has tapped into something universal.
She has.
A shared human experience that transcends geographical boundaries.
Which might explain why she's still captivating audiences all these years later.
Absolutely. So we're back, ready to kind of continue our exploration of all things Bridget Jones.
We've covered her impressive box office performance, her evolution as a character, and those mixed reactions from critics.
Now, I'm curious to kind of unpack something we touched on earlier.
You mean the fact that Mad About the Boy went straight to streaming in North America?
Yeah, exactly. It makes you wonder if there was kind of a preconceived notion that Bridget Jones might not resonate as strongly with American audiences.
That's a really fascinating question. I wonder if the decision to bypass a theatrical release in North America was influenced by the assumption that she's primarily a British phenomenon?
Yeah, it's certainly possible, but as we've discussed, her appeal extends far beyond the UK.
Right. A global box office success really challenges that idea.
Yeah, maybe this is a missed opportunity for American audiences to experience Bridget's latest chapter on the big screen.
Perhaps, or maybe it simply reflects the evolving landscape of entertainment with more and more people opting for streaming services.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor to consider. But regardless of how people choose to watch it, the fact remains that Bridget Jones continues to be a cultural force.
Her impact on popular culture is undeniable.
She's inspired countless imitators, catchphrases, and even fashion trends.
And her stories continue to spark conversations about love, relationships, and what it means to be a woman in today's world.
Speaking of being a woman in today's world, do you think Bridget is still a relatable character in 2024?
It's a valid question. The world, and especially the dating landscape, has changed dramatically since her debut back in 2001.
Yeah, it really has.
We're now navigating the world of dating apps, social media, and a whole new set of society norms.
So can a character created over 2 decades ago still resonate with modern audiences? I mean, she doesn't even have a smartphone in the first film.
That's true, but I think it comes down to the core elements of Bridget's character.
Because those
Her
are?
vulnerability, her imperfections, her constant quest for love and self-acceptance.
Those are timeless themes, aren't they?
You are.
We all crave connection. We all
Yeah.
make mistakes. We all have those moments of self-doubt.
Absolutely. And Bridget embodies those universal experiences with such humor and honesty.
Yeah.
She's not afraid to show her flaws, to stumble, to pick herself up and try again.
That's so refreshing. She's not afraid to be messy and real.
And that's something that we can all relate to, regardless of when we were born or what our dating preferences are.
I think you're right. It's that relatability that makes her so endearing and enduring. She's a reminder that it's okay to be imperfect, to be a work in progress.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a message that never goes out of style.
So even if you haven't experienced Bridget's exact situations, like accidentally showing up to a party in a bunny costume,
Or mistaking blue soup for gravy.
you can still connect with her on a deeper level.
Because her struggles, her joys, her anxieties are ultimately reflections of our own.
Yeah,
And that's the beauty of great storytelling, isn't it?
it is.
It allows us to see ourselves in others, to feel less alone in our experiences.
And Bridget Jones, with all her quirks and mishaps, she does that beautifully.
She reminds us that we're all in this together, navigating the ups and downs of life, love, and everything in between.
Well said. Now as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Bridget Jones,
Let's leave our listeners with this thought.
what aspects of Bridget Jones's character resonate most with you? Is it her humor, her vulnerability, her determination to find love and happiness?
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment and let us know. And until next time.
Keep on keeping on.
And never be afraid to embrace your inner Bridget Jones.
It's kind of wild to think how much the world has changed since that first film came out.
Oh, for sure. I mean, think about it. 2001.
Yeah.
No smartphones.
Right.
Social media was barely a blip on the radar. Bridget was navigating a completely different dating landscape.
And yet, here we are, over 20 years later, and she's still captivating hearts, topping those box offices. Why Why do you think that is?
Yeah, it's the question, isn't it? What is the secret sauce? The Bridget Jones secret sauce?
Yeah, that keeps audiences coming back for more. Is it purely nostalgia?
Or is there something more?
Yeah, something more at play.
I think it's deeper than just nostalgia.
Okay.
I mean, sure, seeing those familiar faces like Hugh Grant and Emma Thompson, it brings back those warm fuzzies
For sure.
for those
Yeah.
longtime fans. But there has to be something more, something that resonates with those newer generations, you know?
Yeah, who might not have grown up with those original films.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is that?
I think it goes back to what we were discussing earlier, those
Yeah.
universal themes of love,
Yeah.
heartbreak, the search for connection, those desires, they're timeless no matter how much technology or societal norms shift around us.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Whether you're, I don't know, using a dating app or you're bumping into someone at a bookstore, that awkward, exhilarating, and sometimes messy experience of falling in love, that's something people can relate to across generations.
Exactly. Bridget's journey might have started in a pre-smartphone era,
Yeah.
but the core emotions she navigates, they're as relevant today as they were back then.
And let's be honest, there's something comforting about watching Bridget kind of stumble through life's challenges with that trademark self-deprecating humor.
Absolutely. She makes us feel less alone in our own imperfections.
Yeah.
She reminds us that it's okay to laugh at ourselves,
Yeah.
to pick ourselves up after a fall, and to keep searching for our own version of happily ever after.
Yeah, it's like having a friend who's going through the same ups and downs as you,
Right.
only hers are played out on the big screen.
And she does it all with such heart and such honesty.
Yeah.
Even when she's making a complete mess of things, you can't help but root for her.
So to answer our earlier question, I think Bridget Jones's enduring appeal, it really lies in her ability to tap into those universal experiences that connect us all, regardless of age, background, or even, whether we prefer a good old-fashioned meet cute or swiping right on a dating app.
It's her relatability, her vulnerability, and her unwavering belief in love
Yeah.
that keeps audiences coming back for more.
And who knows, maybe in another 20 years, we'll be having this same conversation about a new generation discovering the chaotic charm of Bridget Jones.
I wouldn't be surprised there's something timeless about her story.
Yeah.
Something that continues to resonate long after the credits roll.
Well, on that note, we have reached the end of our Bridget Jones deep dive.
Thank you all for joining us on this journey of rom-com analysis and cultural exploration.
We hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of Bridget Jones and her enduring appeal.
And as always, we would love to hear your thoughts.
What are your favorite Bridget Jones moments? Do you think she's still a relatable character in today's world?
Leave a comment below and let's keep this conversation going until next time.
Stay curious and embrace your inner Bridget Jones.
And remember, it's all about finding your own happily ever after.
Granny pants and all?